Hi, Kim.
Hi, Rob.
Welcome to whatever this is.
Welcome here or where you are. Yeah,
Welcome to
welcome.
Conversations with Rob's Friends
I love it.
for the rest of Rob's friends to watch. Thank you for being my friend.
I have heard the theme song
Okay,
once.
what's that?
Golden Girls theme song. Thank you for being a friend. Anyway, sorry.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. Golden Girls reference. Our work is done
absolutely.
here. So who are you? What's your name?
My name's Kim
Yeah,
Montenegro.
you. Yeah. Mhm.
You can see that in the title of my Zoom. My name is Kim Montenegro. I'm the
No,
pastor.
no. In the title of your Zoom, it's your daughter. That's what's
I
in the
changed
title.
it. I have my
Oh,
own
you changed
identity.
it? Oh, okay. You are your own person.
I'm my own self. Um, my name's Kim Montenegro. I am the pastor at Fair Oaks United Methodist Church. I
Where
consider
is,
myself a spiritual entrepreneur.
spiritual entrepreneur. Okay, so that gives me two questions. One, where's Fair Oaks United Methodist Church?
Funny you should ask that. I said the same thing when the bishop told me she intended to appoint me to Fair Oaks United Methodist Church.
Oh,
Fair Oaks is an unincorporated county in Sacramento County. So we are where my house is. If I drive 5 minutes, I'm in Sacramento.
mhm.
If I am at my house, I'm in Carmichael. And if I drive another 5 minutes, I'm in Fair Oaks. So it's an unincorporated county in the suburbs of Sacramento.
Nice. And when you say spiritual entrepreneur, what do you mean
Yeah.
by that?
I think pastor has a particular set of gifts and graces that
That you
sometimes I
don't
do,
have?
that I do not have, and I am
Okay,
aware
cool.
of that. I don't consider myself as somebody who is a pastoring a flock. I consider myself someone who asks people to think deeply about hard questions that are spiritual,
Mm,
and a way in which you're thinking about things differently than you've already been exposed to them. So an entrepreneur in a startup type of way of rethinking things the way they've always been done.
nice. What's the hardest spiritual question you've had to ask in the last few weeks?
Hardest spiritual question that I had to ask. So our church is doing these small segments where I sit actually in this exact chair and ask a question from this jar that is empty. Oh, they're not empty. So I get to be asked a question, and we have a segment called Hey, I Was Wondering. And so one of them in here, oh, none of these in here. Some of them are, these are not that hard, but I have a few that were really hard. One was,
Okay, well, you got to pull one out, and
okay,
let's do it.
so this one's easy. Do you
Okay.
think God is a male? No.
Oh, okay. Good. You want to
What was the
expand on that?
hardest part of seminary?
Oh, what was the hardest part of seminary?
Dealing with people who were not open to changing their own theology.
Okay. Oh, hey, congratulations on silencing your notifications, by the way. It's working out well.
I'm 40. I don't know how to do anything technological, unlike you,
Okay.
Rob. I thought they were
My
turned off.
maybe
I
it's your
can't
phone.
people like me.
My favorite
No,
is
it's my
on
computer.
is my favorite is watching CNN, and they have someone
Yeah.
super important on right now because everyone's like videoing in, and their notifications
Right.
are, like, just going nuts. So it's like, Bill Gates, and he's talking about important things, and it's like bing, 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 bing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Which are all consisted of his friends saying, I'm watching you on CNN right now.
Just try to imagine like Bill Gates' friends.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're on CNN. Great.
The last
Everyone's
one,
going to be doing this when they watch you on my Facebook page.
that's what my friends are
Like,
messaging me right now, even though this is pre-recorded. That's
I
what's
know.
happening.
It's crazy.
Why do we take communion with grape juice instead of wine?
Oh, why?
In solidarity with those who struggle with drugs and alcohol, and also Welch's grape juice said, hey, I got a deal for you.
Yeah, both. Good answers. Nice. You passed the Methodist confirmation class. Congratulations.
That was the hardest part of seminary. That should have been my part. That should have been my one of those questions answered the other question.
Yeah. So you said we stalled. We stalled for time. There was the hardest question. What was the hardest question?
I can't remember it. It's laying around my office somewhere because I had to pull it out and really think about it.
Somewhere in Kim's office is the hardest spiritual question she's ever had to ask.
Some of them, so one of the hardest questions I've been asked in a couple of weeks, people just dealing with their own theology and reflecting back of what's serving them and what's not serving them in this time that's different than any other, and helping them reinterpret not just for themselves but also their family and life commitments. I think the hardest part about faith in general is that it's not just something for us alone. It's often what's been passed down to us from our people who loved us and shaped us and formed us. And so it's not just questioning what they believe, which might be easier, but then questioning what grandma taught you and the way that grandma understood scripture. And so in a moment like this, when you're going, this doesn't necessarily fit with the Wesleyan quadrilateral.
What's the Wesleyan quadrilateral?
Scripture, experience, reason, and I always forget.
Oh no! No!
I got scripture.
No! Oh no! Stay with the tea.
Tradition. I always forget because I'm a spiritual entrepreneur. I don't believe in tradition.
Right.
Oh, tradition. Sorry. I hope you edit that part.
Okay, so grandma, you're saying something about grandma's not down with this quadrilateral.
The tea, the tradition.
The tradition, yeah. Grandma's not down with tea.
So I think just reinterpreting that's been hard. Helping people walk through that process.
Yeah, sort of like the why is this happening? Like, I thought if I just did all the right things and believed all the right stuff that I could avoid these kinds of things. Yeah, absolutely.
And also people just, their life continues, in certain ways. People are still getting sick. People are still getting diagnosis. Families are still, estranged. And so that makes it complicated in other ways. And so interpreting, what does that mean? And people realizing they're not abandoned by God.
Yeah. Amen. Hey, tell me about your front yard.
What would you like to know about my front yard?
I want to know what you've been doing to your front yard during this time. I think it's great.
Okay, so we've turned our front yard. My inspiration is a beer garden.
Yes.
So I made cornholes. I stained them and then I taped them off. I painted them, and then I did a design on them. And then we hung like outside lights so that we have a large backyard. Large front yard, and it has we live, like I said, 5 minutes in Sacramento, but we're also like a quarter of a mile from the American River. So we're almost basically right on the river. So we get lots of wildlife in our front yard. So we strung lights, and we ripped up the old landscaping bark and put new stuff down and did different things. And we're planting some fruits and planting vegetables, and we have a lot of fruit trees. And so we're kicking it in our front yard and being really neighborly to our neighbors that are walking by.
Have you made friends with some neighbors that you didn't know before this?
We're pretty friendly with our neighbors because the neighbors behind us, Rob, have a pool and a spa.
Yes. I love how your friendships are always dependent on they have a pool. Let's go make friends with them.
No, it's only of envy. They're really, really sweet people. So we get to hear them having lots of fun in their backyard. So we've moved to the front yard.
So they were rubbing it in, and you're like, fine. We're going to go to your garden.
We can kids. And my kids, I'm telling them it's bedtime at 8 o'clock, and they're like, but it's not bedtime. They're still the other kids are still in the pool. It's a little personal torture for them.
So I think we're the Arizona version of your neighbors, by the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know, because you have a hot tub and a pool.
I know. It's great. So I know how your neighbors feel. They feel awesome.
Yeah, their life seems pretty great. So we've moved to the front yard. No, they're really nice. They've invited us over many times, and they're really sweet. So, but our kids have played 6-foot water balloon distance fight with the kids across the street, and they like stand and throw water balloons at each other.
Genius.
And we got a basketball hoop, so the kids are able to be outside shooting hoops and stuff. And the girl across the street, she goes and jumps on her trampoline on FaceTime, while Jamie Grace goes and jumps on our trampoline on FaceTime so that they can jump together on the trampoline.
That's incredible. I think I want to buy a house in your neighborhood just to come and quarantine up there. Sounds like a party.
It's, one of the things we have felt so lucky is we have so many outdoor spaces, and that we're able to see so much. The American River spans, the parkway spans 30 miles. So it's common use space. So you can just walk up and down the river all day, all different bike trails and walking paths and everything like that. So that's just been really nice that we're able to be outside and not have to be really in densely populated areas. And it's not 10,000 degrees. I don't know, Arizona.
Yeah. It was only 80 something today. So it's the calm.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's the calm before the storm. It'll be 110 in 2 weeks. So we're getting our central air is getting replaced on Friday. So.
Oh yeah, that's like a super essential.
Oh yeah, the unit's 21 years old, so it's time. It's time. Yeah. So my ice cream just arrived from the fam. Fam went out, do a little Target.
What's your favorite flavor?
Pick up some ice cream. Oh, cookies and cream. Yeah, this is just a vanilla milkshake from McDonald's, but it'll do.
Okay, so McDonald's sundaes are my guilty pleasure.
Oh, they're so great with the hot fudge.
Right? Okay, so when I had babies, so all my kids are, when they were little, I had 3 under 3. So they were all very close in age. Mm-hmm. And after they would get home from work, I would get in the car and I would drive away from them so I could have a moment of peace. And my guilty pleasure was listening to NPR at full blast while I sat in the McDonald's parking lot eating a McDonald's hot fudge sundae. And so I have realized when I'm stressed, that's my go-to. So during this pandemic, one day I went to McDonald's and I said, can I have a hot fudge sundae? And they said, we're out of hot fudge. And I said, okay. And they said, do you want the rest of your order? I said, no. I put my car in reverse and I went to the next McDonald's. I show up and I asked for a McDonald's sundae and they're like, we're out of hot fudge. I said, how could you be out of hot fudge? Is this because of the pandemic? And they go, yeah, we only have essentials. Number one, McDonald's, don't kid yourself. Nothing you have there is essential. Let's just be clear. Well, number two, they still had caramel. And I'm like, chocolate is way more essential.
Yeah. Hello.
Right.
So did you ever find a McDonald's that had hot fudge?
So then I sadly had a car behind me and needed something. I had to eat something at McDonald's. So I had a hot fudge sundae sans hot fudge. It was completely unsatisfying.
I'm sorry. Well, my hope and prayer for you is that you get that McDonald's hot fudge sundae sooner than later.
I need none of it. I have been consuming so many calories during this pandemic at home time.
Well, we've reached the point of the episode where you get to ask me a question. So.
What do I want to ask Rob?
Oh, wait, special delivery. And special guest.
Best wife ever! Yep. Here, I'll put my empty Dutch Brothers cup.
We've got a lot of those too.
Yeah, my kids have discovered those.
This episode sponsored by Dutch Brothers and McDonald's. And
on The View, they have their drinks right there.
And Diet Dr. Pepper.
I'd have mine, but where's mine? I'm sure it's in with arm's reach.
Yeah.
What do I want to ask Rob? Okay. How about, can it be a 2-part question?
Sure, yeah. Shoot your shot.
So this is a question I ask my kids all the time. So every night when we have dinner, we ask our happy, sads, and gratefuls. So I'm tempted to do that.
Okay.
But I think the more real question I want to know from you, what's the best part about being Rob and what's the hardest part about being Rob?
Everything's hard about being Rob. Everything.
No, really, I'm really curious.
Like my kids, life is pain. Life is terrible. I mean, obviously, you mean like besides my family? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
no,
like that's
like
pretty
you as yourself. Like, what is the best part of you that
incredible.
you know is the best part of you? And what's the part that you struggle with being you?
Oh man. Okay, so the best part is definitely just I think in my older years, I've been trying to measure my life by like who I'm surrounded with and
Yeah.
who are those friends, who are those people who've been along for the ride and are still here and whatnot. And I just look at people like yourself, and I just see the friendships I've made and how incredible those people are. And like I always feel incredibly blessed and lucky to be like, oh wow, these people are my friends. Like I'll call them and they'll pick up the phone. So I think
So
that's
the
pretty
best
cool.
part about being Rob is the relationships.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And but also um, the hardest part is probably I think one of my biggest realizations is that I struggle hard with imposter syndrome. So I just don't think like I deserve any of it. Um, you know, that's what
Because
I
people can't possibly love you enough, love you like you think you are. That's probably why you're so grateful for the friendships.
yeah, well, yeah, not that I'm looking for like I need you to love me,
Right,
man.
right. No,
But
no, no.
yeah, but just feeling like um, yeah, can't put
Cool.
words to it. So I think humility is good, but I also think that for me it's almost a weakness in some ways. So it's just something I try to be aware of and realize like no, it's okay. You do good work and have good relationships and it's okay. So I just need to keep telling myself that. I need to look in the mirror and say it's okay, Rob. It's okay.
Yep. It's funny because I think I mean, of course, imposter syndrome is all how you feel on the inside, right? Like,
Yeah.
but you to me are so the antithesis of what that is.
Yeah. Oh well, that makes it worse. So thanks. Yeah.
I've really got them fooled now.
No. Wait, are you kidding? Have you seen any alligators lately? Do you have alligators in the river, in the American River?
No, but they do have snakes, and that is true.
Oh yeah, snakes are no joke.
People like catch snakes in the river.
Yeah. Oh, in the river?
That gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Nope, out. I'm always
In the
terrified.
river, swimming.
Uh,
What'd you say?
I'm always terrified to go take my garbage out because of rattlesnakes here in the desert.
Oh yeah, there's lots of rattlesnakes right around here, but they'll have rattlesnakes like they'll show them like Folsom Dam, which is 20 minutes for us, and there'll be homemade phone footage of like them swimming on the river. Nothing more antithesis to actual development than a snake. I feel like that creeps me out on a whole new level. I'm like, I feel like they're prehistoric dinosaurs that just stopped developing. We're like, screw it, we'll just stay like this forever and freak all of the people out when they come. Yeah.
That's like nightmare fuel. And on that note,
It really is.
yeah,
Good night, children. Sleep well.
exactly. Melissa reads a nice bedtime story to everybody.
I know.
Bob gets
I've
on and
tuned in
talks
a
to
couple.
Kim about rattlesnakes that swim on top of the water of the river.
So tell me about this project you're doing.
Oh, I was going to wrap this up, but you want to talk about
Oh, okay.
project? This particular project?
Sure.
You froze? Or are you talking about a different project?
Yeah, tell me about this project. No, this one.
Oh, well, I wanted to try to promote a little community on the old face page. So I started posting these questions and got some good conversation going, but it also made me like really miss people. So I thought, you know what, since I'm not out and about, and man, there were so many things, so many trips and so many people I was going to see all over the country the last couple months, and that all just, yep. I was going to experience beer garden for myself.
But now it's
although
just
maybe
better for you.
Yeah.
We're just preparing for you.
Yes. So yeah, and I want to connect with people in a more meaningful way than just over work phone calls. So yeah, and then I thought maybe people could get some joy, some meaning out of these conversations with these amazing friends I have. So thanks for joining. We'll see if I post this one tonight. We'll see how good Dave Wasson does. And
Wasson's going to do definitely better than me, but I want to say thank you to you and Dutch Brothers
right.
for today's call.
And McDonald's. So we'll see how Wasson does, and then maybe you'll get the nod. You know who tomorrow?
I just want to say, my boy Dale.
Yeah, Dale Fredrickson coming up next.
I love me some Dale.
Yeah.
I'll just throw this down. Wasson is not going to have a sponsorship as good as Dutch Bro. Just going to say it. I'm just going to claim that space right now.
I don't think so. He'll have some sort of cool T-shirt on though. I'm sure.
Oh, that is true. His T-shirt game's on point.
It is. I'm going to ask him about tattoos.
Oh, I love. You know what? I don't have. Do you have a tattoo?
Nope.
I don't either. But I love hearing people's tattoo stories.
Yeah, and then I'm always like, I'm not going to do that. Not happening. No tattoos.
You and Melissa, when will you be married 20 years?
When will we be married 20 years?
When will you and Melissa be married 20 years?
July 2023. So we're coming up on it.
I think it's time for a couple tattoos at that point.
She has tattoos. She has.
I know.
Yeah. So don't say it like that.
Like what?
Anyway. People have had enough. They've had enough of this madness.
All right. We'll let the people have what they want, which is me goodbye.
I'll just edit out all of me and then they can have you. All right.
That is not what they want. All right, Rob, good to talk to you. Thank you for calling in. I'm glad you did.
Yep. And we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Bye,
take care. Bye, friend.